It's day 51. The plan today is to reach the conclusion of Far Habour. To do that, well, first we need to scoop up McCready.
Last
There we
time we
are.
talked, I hope I didn't bore you to death by dumping my life story on you.
Life story? What do you mean?
You don't remember? I told you about my wife Lucy, and how she died. I even gave you that carved toy soldier as a token of our friendship. Sounds like I really did bore you to death.
You did kind of drone on there for a while.
Yeah, I tend to do that sometimes. And the fact of the matter is, you're the closest thing to family I have out here.
Well, don't you
As
have
we've
a
been
son?
traveling together, I'm finding it easier and easier to share my feelings with you. Anyway, I just want you to know how much your friendship means to me.
I appreciate that.
Of course. Sorry to keep bringing it up, but I think you deserve to know. Remember, if you need anything, you be sure and let me know.
Well,
Hi.
I was looking to talk
There
to
you
you.
are. I almost thought you forgot about me.
Time to hit the road.
Finally came to your senses, huh?
All right, McCready, we got a lot to get done, so let's get moving.
Take it one day at a time.
So if you're not too familiar with the history of Far Habour, what's happened here is the fog has come out only in the last few years to this extent, although this is not the first time it's happened. The younger generation don't remember it, but the older generation, such as Longfellow, remember a time when this was the case, when he was young. The children of the atom showed up about a generation ago, and they believe that they brought the fog with them. Now, it's possible that it's from them entering and exiting a nuclear subpen where everything's rotting. It's very much a possibility that they accidentally brought the fog, but either way, they say they did, and the harbormen, well, they believe it too. And this is why we have McCready.
Rats are making me feel sick to my stomach.
Hey.
McCready,
What do you want?
get in.
Yep, you got it. Yeah, there's no way I'm reaching that.
Okay. Okay, now that I got it out for
Hey.
you.
Need something?
Yeah.
Yep, you got it.
See if you'll fit.
Hey.
Well,
That looks awesome.
Hi.
You
Here's that
are my
ammo.
delivery boy.
I think we need some time away from each other.
all right, I guess I'll head back and wait for you. Just be careful. The Commonwealth isn't the safest place to wander
I
alone.
think I'll be just fine. See you, McCready. So, probably less than a year ago, one of the criers, I guess you would call it, from the Children of the Atom, was trying to spread the word of Atom to the people of Far Habour. Of course, the way they were doing it was calling them heretics and telling them they were all going to die and that they deserved it and all that. Hardly being friendly about it, but not being violent about it. At least that's how the story goes. When one Alan Lee decided to take it upon himself to settle the issue by executing the crier. Now, he claims that the crier drew a weapon, but there's a lot of skepticism. Not a lot of people believe that. The mayor doesn't believe that. She just doesn't have the clout to actively do anything about it, so he gets to walk free. Now, at this time, the Children of the Atom were led by Martin, the previous confessor. Valentine. There's Valentine.
Hey, Valentine.
Time to hit the road?
Let's head out.
Well, all right.
Now, Martin wanted peace between the two factions, but, well, that became less and less possible now that one of their criers had been executed by one of the harbormen, and he basically got outed. Now, depending on whose story you believe, he either left of his own volition or he was chased out. Either way, he's gone, and they replaced him with Tectus, who is willing to get more militant about the Far Habour Pier. That's kind of where we are right now. I guess in game time, about 3 or 4 days ago, if you recall, a second... Oop, rad rabbit. Yeah, I'll shoot a rad rabbit. 2 rad rabbits. I still want to know what a rad chicken is. few days ago in game time, if you recall, we came back to Far Harbor Pier, and Alan Lee had just finished executing a second one, which I'm sure is not going to help relations all that well, but at this point, it's kind of moot, other than, the whole human life valuable thing. As for him executing the guy, it's a tough call what you would do in a situation like that in the world of Fallout. Now, obviously, in our world, you would just call the
Never look a
authorities,
trapper
have
in
them
the
removed for
eyes.
trespassing or harassment or whatever,
Something
and that would
else.
basically be the end of it. But in the Fallout world, there's no institutionalized system of justice, there's no police that you can call, so it is one of those things that you would have to deal with yourself. However, there is a whole range of things that Alan Lee could have done that fall between doing nothing and outright murder. You know, what would you do realistically in this situation? Well, and let me make it very clear, I would never advocate this, in a civilized society, but what you'd do, you'd kick their ass. Okay? In this world, if someone was showing up, being a royal pain, telling everyone in the city that they're heretics, that they're going to die, and that they deserve it, you'd kick their ass. And then you'd send them on their way. Because what are you going to do? You're going to put them in jail? What jail? There are options that fall between doing nothing and outright murder, and Alan Lee just kind of ignored those options and is probably responsible for the entirety of the the conflict here. But it is what it is. The Harbormen kind of have to live with it. I kind of took a wrong direction. I'm so used to coming to this settlement. I'm headed to the nucleus to visit the children of Adam. But that's basically the backstory here, if it got missed in the edit. So, of course, I've glossed over Dima's involvement and all that, but we're absolutely going to be exploring that, well, momentarily, because here we are, back at the nucleus.
Watch yourself out there.
So before we continue with the story missions, there are a couple side quests to turn in while we're here. I believe the first one will be yours.
Adam's justice will be done.
Sister Gwyneth won't be troubling you any longer.
She brought it on herself. Won't ask you for the details.
Well, that's good.
Doesn't really matter to me. You've done well. Proved your devotion, and more important, your loyalty. Adam smiles on you today, sister.
Great. So where do I cash in my Adam bucks exactly?
Since you've served Adam well, I'll overlook your insult. Here, take this. It's not just a weapon, it's one of our sacred artifacts. Go forth and show no mercy to the enemies of Adam.
Let's have a look at that. A lot of damage, a lot of radiation damage. So that's interesting, but I'm not equipped to use melee weapons such as that. Well, there are melee weapons that are good enough that I might bother to do that for. I don't think that's one of them. Sister Mai.
Mai.
You're back. Thanks again for being game to track down that pump regulator. Now, care to check the stock?
Finally got that regulator from the Vim Pop Factory.
You did? Oh, fantastic. So that regulator should slot right into the apparatus downstairs. My bypass to the filters should take care of the rest. Unless I mess something up. Those arches should start spraying all the irradiated water the children could ask for. I was thinking, since you did all the heavy lifting, you ought to be the one to christen the old girl. Plug in the final piece? You willing to do the honors?
Sure, I can take care of that.
Great. Pump's down in the bay. Shouldn't give you any trouble. And here, for what you've done.
Well, that's certainly nowhere near as good as the one I bought off of her. Perhaps, you know what? Let's
Sister
go ahead
Mai.
and sell it back to her.
Trust in Adam. But don't leave the bay without stocking up. You need something?
Let's see what you have.
Adam provides.
So I went ahead and
I
sold her
quake
both of
before
the
Adam's
weapons
majesty.
they'd just given me and picked up a whole bunch more 2mm ammunition.
Gentle Adam, cleanse my soul of wretchedness.
We're sucking down a lot of rads sticking around here.
Yeah, that's not really that big a concern. Now, there is an option to disable this thing, but I'm not going to do that. As I mentioned before, there is a certain mysticism to radiation in the Fallout world that isn't present in real life. And, well, I'm going to let them have it. If that's, if they want to suck down rads in the hopes of becoming a ghoul or getting closer to Adam or whatever it is, it's not really
Confessor
my
Martin
place to tell
begged
them they
Far Habour
can't.
for peace.
I think to
Again and
complete the
again.
mission, I have to be the first one to use the arch here. Yeah, there it is. I was actually expecting a lot more rads than that, but that's ultimately quite survivable for my build. So I think there's some dialogue that can be had if you go to the Confessor at this point, ask him for permission to go and find Demon's memories. I don't think it's actually necessary. We can just wander on in.
Consider yourself warned.
As I mentioned before, one of the Children of the Atom had previously tripped all these, well, all this everything. I am pretty sure that those would actually give me a lot of trouble.
Well, that looks like fun.
Turrets can be deceptively dangerous, so let's do this properly. Not to mention that those laser traps actually have a pretty substantial amount of spare parts that are actually quite rare to find, and quite expensive. Oh, wait. Am I able to shoot these?
Approach and
Nope.
identify yourself.
Okay, maybe that was a
Law-abiding
mistake.
Citizens will not be harmed. This area clear. Proceed. False alarm. Standing down.
Well, I'm going to claim the XP. $200 XP a pop.
Unidentified.
Okay, well, I seem to have been pushed through the door well by Valentine, so doing this the hard way. The hard and completely unnecessary way.
Even break a sweat. Not that it's an option.
That would be a
Scanning
gutsy.
for hostiles. Area secure.
As much as it's tempting to actually get some more use out of my explosive rifle,
Identify
a legendary gutsy is something to worry about.
all clear.
He even got off a last shot there. Right. Legendaries explode. Furious shovel, seriously. Literally the only thing I'm not oh, 92 value to weight. I mean, obviously never going to use that, but well, let's press on. I might regret jumping this far forward. Or I might not.
You're in for it now.
Glad to see that Valentine's getting into it. I probably don't need to spend a whole bunch of time combing this place up and down, especially if I hope to get all this done in one day. Definitely don't want the Pip-Boy light on, though. Given that this is an area I've never been in before, as you can already see, everything's leveled to me. This looks like a turret hiding spot if I've ever seen one, but no, instincts are wrong. Probably get out of third-person view.
Unless you're hounding for a green suntan, I suggest we get a move on.
Saltron Dominator. I'm glad that I noticed him first.
Not even worth wasting a pulse. Look who's back.
Nick, you can move, you know.
Got me good. Won't underestimate us again. Your funeral.
Oh. Benefit of having someone with you. Let you know when these things come up. Okay, so that's the exit. What do we have? So last time I was at Acadia, on my way out, Faraday tapped me on the shoulder and told me that he'd rewritten that hacking software so it would do the annoying little mini-game for me. Which is my way of saying I downloaded a mod that'll let me skip the hacking minigame. But what it won't let me do is skip what's behind that door. So I am going to break out my explosive gun, and before I flick that switch, let's go ahead, pop some Psycho Jet. And deal with that problem before it becomes a serious situation. Staggering, hardened, combat Well, staggering rifle's interesting, but it's nowhere near as good as anything we have. What that does mean, though, is there's a whole bunch of holotapes to listen through, and I don't think I actually have to do it here. So, let's move on.
Memory file identification 0V-9AX0. Converted to audio transcription. Beginning playback.
And for each
Things are not going well with Far Habour. Several of my people have been assaulted, spat at, interrogated for no reason. This is getting out of control. But there's still a chance they can learn to trust us. We just need one of their own who's on our side. I can't let anyone know what I'm about to do. I'll need to set up the equipment far away from Acadia. It'll double as a place to bury the evidence.
Additional location data appended. A makeshift medical facility underneath the VIM. Pop factory.
So we have a location.
Coordinates
Let's keep
downloaded.
listening to these memories.
Memory file identification 0J-2NN8. Converted to audio transcription. Beginning playback.
I'm offloading this memory. I cannot bear lying to Confessor Martin and his children of Adam any longer. Better to just forget. I found it. The location of the launch key to fire the nuclear missile inside the submarine. Confessor Martin believes it can bring his people into division.
Oh, that'll do that.
Destruction at the hands of an atomic blast. He struggles with how literal his interpretation of that precept should be. I can't risk him deciding to find the key and use it. His people were the first to accept me for what I am. The thought of them being gone fills me with nothing but pain.
Additional data appended. Location: the Harbor Grand Hotel safe room. Key code 485130.
Ah, so that's what that that hotel we visited yesterday was all about. That's where the key to set off the nuke is. Oh, I really gotta stop hitting that reload button every time. Where are ya? Well, let's go ahead.
Memory file identification 0H-3X0P. Converted to audio transcription. Beginning playback.
I've made a contingency plan in case Far Habour discovers the truth, or gives in to their xenophobia despite all my efforts. I've isolated the wind turbine powering Far Harbour's fog condensers. A kill switch command will leave them defenseless from the fog and its creatures. But now that it's done, am I really capable of this? This massacre that I've engineered? I'm going to remove the command code from my memories. I'll bury a hard copy if I need to use it. But I can't keep it close to me. It makes me sick.
You probably shouldn't have made
Additional
it.
location data appended. Coordinates to the kill switch command code and the wind farm maintenance building.
Oh! Where there's one, there's always more. Just two. Just two. So this is the location designated to us by that holotape, and it looks like the super mutants have already moved back in, although I guess I didn't go out of my way to clear them all. Well, it's the first level up. Let's see what we have available to us. I think it's prudent to get back on track with these three here, so let's go ahead and take the next rank of Critical Banker.
Hey, when you were in Dima's memories, did you find anything? Any proof about what really happened between us?
Take a listen to this holotape, Nick. It's from the data we pulled off of Dima's memory banks.
All right. Let me run this real quick. God. Dima really did help me escape the Institute? I wasn't just tossed out with the garbage. I must have still been in a haze from one of the Institute's experiments on me. Did I really attack him? Did he really knock the daylights out of me and leave me for dead? Damn it.
Is that how that went down?
Why can't I remember?
Ooh, this is how it starts, Nick. Next you'll be forgetting your keys and thinking I'm your great aunt from Southie.
Yeah, you always know just what to say. Well, I wanted proof Dima and I had history, and I got it. Now I just gotta figure out what to do. Should I give him a chance? Try to accept him as my brother? He might just be the only other prototype synth that exists.
I guess the question is, what do you want, Nick? Do you want a brother in your life?
If I did, would I want Dima to be that brother?
That's a better question.
I guess no one gets to choose their family, but when your family is built in a lab, well, things get weird.
I think every family gets weird at some point.
I think you already know the answer, Nick. You don't need me to tell you.
Huh. Maybe next time we swing by Acadia, I'll try to be a little nicer to the
Wasn't
old
exactly
synth.
where I was going with it, but
Make up for lost time. Thanks, by the way. I wouldn't know the truth without you.
Memory file identification 0Z-7A4K. Converted to audio transcription. Beginning playback.
Get away from me! What the hell are you?
It's me. We escaped the Institute together. You're my brother.
I don't have a brother. The name's Nick Valentine, and no one in my family tree is a plastic-skinned freak.
You're just confused. Let me help.
Stay away from me! I don't want to hurt you!
Goodbye, brother.
End playback.
so there we have what would have been Nick's first memory.
Memory file identification 0Y-8K7D. Converted to audio transcription. Beginning playback.
I've discovered a curious record inside the pre-war data files of this submarine base. The Marines here were equipped with an advanced model of combat armor. There are several suits already in the base, in various states of deterioration. But there were more shipments of the armor on its way to the base, the day the bombs fell.
Additional data appended. Armor shipments tracking information.
Think you can unlock that terminal?
Downloaded.
Good plan.
Okay, we finally get to see what the thump 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 is. Hopefully.
Well, well. Not a shabby set of protocols. Got it.
Oh, you're gonna leave me the honors? I'm sure we could find out what's behind that door by reading the memo, but let's do it the fun way.
I know what a nap feels like.
It's interesting that the super mutants were keeping one of their own behind the door. I'm sure there's a reason for it, and it was probably in
Ready
those
for
memos.
anything.
I was kind of hoping I would get some super mutant behemoth blood for the mission in Warville. No such luck. Oh well. So here we are back at the door that I mentioned the first time we came through the Vim Pop Factory. Oh, I'm not supposed to be looting this place. I completely forgot my rule set. What have I taken here? I think it was...
You want me to take a look at that terminal? You just say the word.
I think it was
I'll
one
that away with
silver table
machines.
knife. It was duct tape that I grabbed. I'm guessing I've probably been breaking my rules like mad. I completely forgot that that was the whole point of the playthrough of the last couple of days, I suppose. As far as armor and weapons, I'm still on top of that. You know, anything that gets dropped, but gotta get back in the mindset. I'm not allowed to do that. Anyway, on with the plot.
If you need me to take a... Oh, you got it.
It wasn't a tough one. Now, since this stuff was behind a locked door, you know what? I'm just gonna say no, I'm not allowed to. I've already screwed this one up enough. Get in here, Nick. We're going down.
Ground floor.
Now, down here, no one's been down here in ages. This I'm allowed to loot. Unmarked grave. Well, let's just go ahead and drop this one right into the pit pad.
Is it going to be painful?
Avery's locket,
Yeah.
eh?
It's going to be like having everything you are ripped out and replaced with something else. Someone else.
I'm ready. I wish I could say goodbye to everyone.
No one else can know. This isn't just about infiltrating Far Habour. It's about becoming the human that synths drawn here need to meet.
If you need assistance, please
Willing
approach
to
the
accept
intercom.
as just another living thing. No greater or lesser than humanity itself. You'll be part of the bridge between our two worlds. That all vanishes the moment anyone discovers that it's been manufactured. That you're a synth.
Did she have to die? The woman I'm replacing? God, she looks so peaceful lying there.
Don't. Please. That blood is on my hands.
Do they then, like,
not
dissolve
yours.
her in acid? Would she really be a skeleton that quick? To be honest, I have... Oh, Nick, come on, be a little bit more respectful than that. Avery's locket, eh? Let's see what we have over here. I guess this is where Dima did the procedure, whatever you want to call copying a human onto a synth.
Scanning. Approved user detected. Synth prototype.
What?
Unlocking medical area
This
door.
thing knows what I am? How? Just who are you?
I am Kai 1.1, a computer intelligence designed to control medical facilities, specifically the room through that door. You match all specifications for an approved user. Personally speaking, they were very narrow.
This must be Dima's handiwork. Guess he never thought another prototype synth would be on the island. Might as well grab anything useful we find in there.
Let's have a look. So not too much in here that's out of the ordinary for a medical facility, except for perhaps this. Which I was expecting to pop up on the screen dramatically, but this is basically a generic combat rifle rechambered for 5.56. Doesn't do anything special for damage. It has the legendary effect that gives it better reload time and fire rate, but at this point in the game, it's certainly not replacing anything we had. If I wasn't playing by the no hoarding rules, probably something I'd go and stash in a box somewhere. Before we leave, though, there is one last thing I would like to grab, if I can remember where it is. I think it's this way. Yes, over here. Oh, and it even has a fusion core. You know, I went and picked up 2 fusion cores for today's journey, but looks like I didn't need either of them.
Don't let all that horsepower go to your head.
Oh, because my gear's not in effect, I'm over encumbered. I wonder, will Nick get in power armor?
Hey.
Go ahead. Done and done.
He will. Alright, Nick. Let's get out of here. You know, Nick, that the revolver looks a little out of place on you. This is not the exit that I thought I was going to get, but I'm sure we'll be able to handle anything that gets thrown at us. Not too interested in a long drawn-out firefight here, so if I can sneak my way out, I'll do just that. But on the realization that Dima's a total monster, and has been replacing, well, at least one person with a synth, it's time to head back to Acadia, or Arcadia, I can never remember which one it is, and have a chat with him. I stopped at the lumber mill along the way.
Hey.
First off, I'm going to need Nick to...
I need you to get out of your power armor.
Sure thing.
Let's have a chat with
Do you know
Piper.
if there's anything I can do to lighten the load? Or, you know, if you need anything proofread.
Need to chat.
Hey, Piper.
Heading my way?
Yes, sort of.
Sure, let's go.
Will do.
Traveling with Piper is not for the faint of heart. I'd know.
I like that they have a past.
You always know just what to say.
Next up, talk to Longfellow.
We heading out?
That's right. Let's get going.
After you, then.
Sent Piper home. Nope, not the water pump. Longfellow.
Hmm? I can do that.
Come on. And now, where did Nick go? There you are.
Hey, Valentine.
Time to hit the road?
Let's head out.
Well, all right.
Okay. 2 Vim power armors being delivered. Not gonna wind up using them. They'll wind up on a plinth. You never know. Maybe I'll find something fun to put together at the end with those. They're collectibles, so we'll collect them. Especially if we can have someone else cart them all the way back to the Commonwealth for us. Well, here we are. Before we talk to Dima, there are 3 other people we have to have a chat with. The first should be Kasumi.
Kasumi.
You're back. So, what did you find? Can we really trust Dima? Or is he hiding something?
I found Dima's earliest memories. He murdered and replaced someone in Far Habour, and then he covered it up, even hiding the knowledge of it from himself.
Damn it. I was hoping I was wrong, but I just knew there was something. Do you know why he did it?
I was actually expecting a bit more shock, not just disappointment.
Why does anyone do evil things? Because they can? Because it's easy?
God, is Acadia even worth saving?
Yes, of course.
The people, the synths, here, they haven't done anything wrong.
Presumably. I mean, I'm sure that at least a couple of them have an ugly past. So does any society. There's always going to be bad people.
Acadia is still an ideal worth protecting. I'll do everything I can.
You're right. We have to see this through. Maybe you can use what you've found in Dima's memories and convince the old synth to do what's right. I know you've been doing all the hard work. I've been making a few things. Take them. Maybe they'll help. Come talk to me when this is all over, okay? Good luck.
A couple stim packs and a couple a couple stealth boys. You made stealth boys? Wow.
They really pulled it off. I'm impressed.
Oh, hey, Boxer.
Excuse me.
Acadia is just the kind of place a lot of synths have dreamed of.
That's it? I admit I was kind of hoping for some dialogue. This is the railroad rep. And here's our shop.
Hey there.
Need something?
I've got a few minutes to browse.
You never know. I might actually have something useful.
Hey.
What's the plan?
Wait there.
I'll stay put.
Next on the list, we have a synth head in our pocket that's been stinking up the place. Chase.
Your missing synth was jumped by cannibal trappers. He didn't survive.
That's
That
putting it
poor
nicely.
bastard. That synth came here to live in peace, and we failed him in the worst way possible.
Not we.
It's my fault.
Yeah.
I should have gone out there to meet him.
Yeah, you
Damn
really
it.
should have.
I'm glad we were able to bring some closure to the matter. You deserve this. And shall we say 200 caps?
You said this wasn't the first time a synth has gone missing.
Of course not. For someone without weapons or field training, crossing this island is deadly. Thanks again for your help. Be safe out there.
So, you're saying you normally just let them take that walk up the hill by themselves? Oh, yeah, I guess that's what she's saying. Faraday.
Hi.
Yes?
I've got those storage drives you asked for.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. Just the two? Really? I somehow thought there were three.
I did notice a locked chest that I couldn't open. Maybe the last one was in there. Do you have the key?
Key? Chest? I'm afraid I don't know. You know what? This is fine. Just these two is fine. Well, you did your part, so I'll do mine. Thank you for recovering these.
So I'm sure there's a story behind that supposed third storage drive, but I've never come across it.
There's something
I've Nick back here so he wouldn't interrupt us while I was turning in those other two missions. Let's go have a chat with Dima.
So, Dima, look, I was hoping we could talk. I didn't want to believe you at first about us being brothers.
You don't have to apologize, Nick. I know it must have been a shock.
Yeah, well, I still don't feel proud of taking it as bad as I did. Maybe we could start over?
I'd like that. It's been good to talk to you again, Nick.
That's it? Okay.
Hey, Dima.
I hope you don't mind, but I had Chase shadow you. She saw you entering and leaving the nucleus. So, what was in my memory banks? Are we closer to resolving the conflict on this island peacefully?
I have a memory of yours about a nuclear launch key. You knew how to detonate the sub in the nucleus all along.
Give me a moment. I need to remember for myself. So, I chose to forget the launch key even existed. Poor Confessor Martin. Was I lying to him all that time? The submarine is rusted into the dry dock. The only target that missile is ever going to hit is the base itself. The nucleus. Where the children of Adam live. We have to keep that key out of the wrong hands. The nucleus has innocent people living there among the zealots threatening Far Habour.
I concur.
I'll make sure no one else gets their hands on that key.
Thank you. Was there anything else in my memories?
Oh, there
Some
sure
way
was.
we can work towards peace?
Your memories led me to a gravesite. You killed Captain Avery and replaced her with a synth so you could control Far Habour.
What? That's impossible. Let me see what you found. I did it. I killed a woman from Far Habour and replaced her. I stripped a synth's identity from her and made her an agent.
You're a fraud.
Maybe you're right. The compromises I've made, all without even knowing.
Yeah, it's called willful ignorance for a reason.
I'm starting to see things more clearly. We have to keep this secret from Far Habour. If they knew I had done this, they wouldn't destroy just me. They'd come after Acadia, and then without us, the fog condensers will eventually fall into disrepair. Everyone will die. I have an idea. There's still a way we can bring peace. But the fact that I've replaced a human with a synth must remain hidden.
Make your case to the people of Far Habour, Dima. Let them decide.
And if their judgment is to destroy Acadia, the synths I've gathered here are innocent. I'm responsible for them being here.
You said you wanted human and synth kind to be equal.
I don't know
now
if he
you
ever
have to prove
actually
it.
said that, but...
Tell them the truth. Trust that they'll do the right thing.
You're right. We can't be above any other living being. When something terrible is done, there have to be repercussions. I'll go. The people of Far Habour will have to decide what to do with me. And I will have to hope Acadia will be spared.
Wait, what? You can't. Dima, if you go down there, you're not coming back up.
My dear Faraday, you know there is no other option.
Dima, there are always options. Don't do this. Don't leave.
If atoning for my actions can keep you safe, well, I care for you all too much to do anything else.
Dima, please.
Be strong, Faraday. It will be all right.
And Dima sets off on the long walk.
I'm gambling the lives of my people, that your trust in Far Habour is not misplaced.
So with our time in Far Habour drawing to a close, it was time to hang up the suit. There's not much left for me to decide here. It's up to the jury to determine what happens. Let's see what they have to say.
My long walk is over.
What's this about?
People of Far Habour, you know me. We have lived peacefully together for years. We have come to trust each other in our way, but I've betrayed that trust, and I've kept the truth from all of you. Early on, during Acadia's founding, I murdered one of your own. I replaced them with one of mine.
What? Who?
The identity of my agent must remain hidden. They are as much a victim in this as anyone. They will do you no further harm. I am the only one to blame.
Go on, Dima.
I wanted to prove that humanity and synth could coexist. That we did not have to fear each other. But I went too far. I see that now. I only ask that you judge me and not what we've built together. Allow the peace between Acadia and Far Habour to last beyond this.
Peace? You call murdering one of ours peace?
I say we end this bastard, and then burn his whole goddamn Acadia to the ground!
Alan, enough. Demo will pay for his crime, but not Acadia. This path you want leads to murder. Cold-blooded murder.
We leave them be. We'll never know if they're killing and replacing us, one by one. No. We kill every last one of them, just to be sure. Who's with me?
Every time you open your damn mouth, Alan, the whole town suffers. Shut up.
What? You... I oughta...
Yeah!
I've been wanting to say that since we first met that guy.
Don't listen to the mainlander. My brother knows what we've got to do.
See the hull? That's thanks to the mainlander. A true friend of the harbor.
You going to listen to Alan's hate-mongering? You even remember who did the captain's dance?
Mainlander cleared my farm, avenged my family, more than the rest of you ever did for me.
What's Alan really ever done? Caused trouble. Remember who cleared the lumber mill? Remember who's given us a new chance to take back our island?
I owe my life to this stranger. We should listen. Now.
My uncle's safe and alive. The stranger's always steered us right.
Enough. I'll back down.
Alan, the harbor's spoken. So this ends here, Dima. Murder's a serious crime. There's only the one punishment for it. If you have any last words, now's the time.
I'm sorry.
Mitch. Every homestead, town, and people has a dark side. But if we're ever to know peace, we don't let the worst of us define us. So justice has been done. And I expect everyone to respect the peace between us and Acadia.
Firepower. You ever get a gnawing in your belly to do something crazy? Reason and sense keep steering you clear. The craziest ideas are usually the best. Fortune favors the bold and unbalanced, right? You're the only mainlander I'd ever tell of this. So hear me out. The Red Death. May have heard of it. The big monster lives beneath the waves. Only strikes when the fog is thick. People think it's some drunken sailor's tale. But no one goes sailing when there's a fog on. In their bones, they know there's something out there. For whatever it's worth, I believe you. Thank you. With my business here done, and knowing someone like yourself, I seek to end this unholy terror. Dozens of boats over the long years been claimed by it. I mean to hunt this Red Death. Are you with me?
I think we have time for one last adventure.
Count me in. Bring whatever weapons of death and mass destruction you got. Meet by the docks. You take your boat, I'll take mine. This trip is going to test our mettle more than anything.
Well, Valentine, you ready to hunt the Red Death?
Mariner, I'll meet you there. The Red Death is going down. You read me, Mainlander?
Yep.
I plotted a safe course for your boat. Don't tamper with it. The shoals near where we're headed can easily capsize a boat of your size. I'll catch up to you.
Nice of you to send me first.
Much further, Mainlander. When Auntie Stacy told others of her brush with the Red Death, they laughed at her. Then 2 weeks after, a full fishing boat never came back. From the beach, they saw the glow on the horizon. I've been looking to end the reign of the Red Death's terror my whole life. Wrecks all around it. There. You see it, right?
No.
Meet you there, and get prepared.
Oh. Oh, there's definitely something in there.
It can't be. That's the Red
Wait.
Death?
Oh, tell me I can take it with me. Oh, come on, Mariner, get down here. We'll take a picture.
It can't be. That's the Red Death?
It looks like.
Are you sure this is it? It's got to be the red glowing eyes. I mean, when the fog's thick, that little fella is deadly in his own fashion. The shoals around here are treacherous. A middling captain with a mite of curiosity would run aground for certain. And this far from shore, that'll end you.
Think we can handle it? We could always call in the Marines.
Oh, ha ha. What do we say to all the folk back home? I meant this to be my last great adventure. Instead, if we tell the folk back at town, I'll be a laughing stock.
Well, I don't know. You thought it was going to be some gigantic sea creature monster, and you came out here anyway.
Maybe we embellish a little. Or a lot. Make it the stuff of legends.
I have little stomach for it. But it's better than the alternative. Let's go. I thought I got this for you to celebrate. I didn't think it would turn out like this.
Hey, you, got a sec?
Sure.
Does bashful mode come standard on all synths? Or did you have to pay extra for that?
Heh, no. Only on me, and I suppose that's sort of the issue. I wouldn't normally bother you with this sort of thing, but, well, I know I can trust you at this point. For as long as I can remember, I've been getting these, flashes. Memories of places I've never been. Things I've never seen. Memories of Nicks. They're not bad, they're just this inescapable reminder that I'm not the person I think I am. That I'm not a person at all. I'm just a machine, pretending to be human.
You think, you feel. You're more than pretending, Nick.
Nice of you to say, but your kind don't usually have to deal with someone else's whole life, trapped inside their skulls. Don't get me wrong, I know I'm in Nick's debt. These memories, they've kept me alive. Nick was a hell of a cop. A guy with good instincts and a good heart. I always counted myself lucky they didn't load me up with some ex-con, or whatever type might volunteer to let folks tinker with their gray matter. But it's thanks to Nick that I pass for human. Why I get to live cushy in Diamond City, and every other synth is shot on sight. I know I got it good, but my entire life I owe to Nick. Everything that makes me who I am. My judgment, my speech, hell, even my name. They're his. And I can't do a damn thing about it, because without them, I'm nothing. A shell. All I want is a life where I have something I can call my own.
You've already built a life for yourself, Nick. You've got the agency, a home, friends.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. You know, I'm just gonna need some time to think on this. I appreciate you hearing me out. You're a real good friend. Thanks.
Well, that was certainly an opportune
It wasn't
time.
supposed to be like this.
You know, there is this chunk of Nick Valentine history I've been hoping to put a bow on for a while now. I could use a hand if you're willing to take a crack at it.
If you want to chat about it right now, then I suppose so.
What kind of history are we talking here?
Well, this one's straight out of the archives. Once upon a time, in the land of Boston, there lived a king of organized crime. Eddie Winter. He was a bad man who did a lot of bad things, hurt a lot of innocent people. But he knew the end was coming, so he sealed himself inside a personal shelter, located underneath a sub-shop he used as a headquarters.
Eddie Winter was from my time. Real scumbag.
The story gets even more twisted. The arrogant bastard wanted to cheat death, live forever, so he could come out of that shelter someday into this brave new world. Sound familiar? Only Eddie didn't want to be a frozen banana. No cryo sleep for him, no. He invested his money in some sick, crazy radiation experiment.
Watch who you're calling frozen banana, pal.
Get over yourself. It ain't always about you. Now, listen to the important part. Eddie Winter went and turned himself into a ghoul 200 years before it was fashionable. Hell, he was probably the first one. And I'm convinced that he's still locked inside that shelter. Safe and sound. Ready to come out and begin his evil reign all over again. I'm gonna find him and kill him, so that never happens. You in?
All right, Nick. Let's get the bad guy.
Good. Now, I know where Winter's vault is, but the door is sealed with a complex numerical code. Lucky for us, Winter's arrogance knew no bounds. Back in the day, he recorded 10 holotapes, incriminating different criminal associates. On each one, he hit a single number. We find all of those holotapes, we get all the numbers. We get all the numbers, we get the code. And then we get Winter. I've been putting together a file on this one for a while now. There's a pair of holotapes in here worth listening to, including one of Winter's that I managed to snatch from the Cambridge Police evidence lockup before getting swarmed by ferals. My gut tells me the Boston Police evidence terminals are the key to cracking this one. It's probably worth paying a visit to any of the departments you might have stumbled across.
It wasn't supposed to be like this.
Are we all done here? Because I am absolutely going to take advantage of this photo op. And now, time to vanquish this greatest of foes. Can't imagine there's a lot of meat there, but I'll take it. Come on, Mariner. Let's go make up a story.
They're here. They're back.
Did you find it? Did you end the scourge
Oh,
of the
we sure
seas?
did.
So, we set sail. It was a terrible fight.
So you killed it?
Oh, yes, we did at that. It was quite the sight.
Did you hear? They did it! The Red Death's no more.
Did it take long? My
Killed it
grand
with
figured
my
it would
bare
take a
hands.
mini-nuke direct to the center of the eye to do it in.
Oh,
That
it sure
would've
did.
worked, but we made do.
The seas are ours again. We can fish in peace.
Tell me, are you injured, Mariner? Are you okay?
No, we managed to get through unscathed.
Oh, thank God. I thought for sure you were sailing to your graves.
Here's to the heroes.
Mariner.
Seems like the end of the road. Every time we've talked, you've given me a lot to think about. I've been stowing away gear and supplies for a final journey into the deep. But after the lies, it makes the decision even harder.
So, what's your plan?
I'm working on it. I mean, at the end of it all, what's worth doing in your final days? What's worth leaving behind?
You're entitled to be a little selfish in the end.
I've given everything I have left to this town. It's gotta be enough, right? No matter what happens or what goes down. You were a true friend.
You know, the Mariner's story is absolutely lovely, and I'm happy that we were able to give her an end.
You need it?
Even if it
Big
wasn't
shop's
exactly
got it.
the end she was hoping for. And with that, there's only one last
Dean is
loose
gone.
end.
You found out the truth, and now he's paid for it. We did the right thing, didn't we?
It's not about right or wrong. We made decisions just like he did. Now we have to live with it.
This has all been so much more complicated than I expected. Hey, listen. So, when you first showed up, you came to get me, to bring me home. I've been thinking a lot about that. I hurt Kenji and Ray by leaving, didn't I? I could have just stayed home, pretended everything was alright, but I left them. Should I go back? They obviously still care about me. Or who they think I am. They need a daughter. They deserve to have one. Everything in Acadia has been settled. I found my answers. Maybe it's time I did something for someone else.
You're right, Kazumi. They need you. Go home.
I will. I'll start gathering my supplies and I'll have to say goodbye to everyone. Thanks. For everything. Maybe I'll see you back in the Commonwealth?
I don't doubt it. And that was Far Harbor. It's nice to see some ethical questions in Fallout 4. Fallout 4 is really not known for its deep ethical quandaries. And this one really, gives you two factions to choose between and the option to choose neither of them. And that's kind of welcome. With the case of Kasumi Nakano solved, and with her on her way back to her parents, it's time for us to call it a night. We'll sleep on the boat. And I will see you tomorrow.